Everyone, it's Paige and Happy New Year, first video of 2021, and we're on the golf course, so New Year, same type of video. So we're gonna do a course management video today. We're gonna do a reachable par 4, a long par 3, and a maybe reachable par 5. So I think those are the most difficult holes to play and to kind of navigate yourself around. So we're going to talk about those. I'll walk you through it, give you some different options on how to play them. So the first hole we're going to talk about is a drivable par 4. Most people get really excited for this hole because they're like, hey, I can use my driver and I can drive it, I can make an eagle or a birdie, but actually what happens is they end up playing it the wrong way and they'll make a big number. So we're going to talk through this drivable par 4. It's 300 yards, so it's not quite drivable for me. And I think this is a really good example of what not to do. Don't take your driver if you can't get it there, because you're gonna end up putting yourself in a really tough position. You're gonna have that weird like 30 yard, 20 yard pitch shot. You'll probably end up in a bunker. There's a front right side bunker that you do not wanna be in, so you wanna avoid that. So good rule of thumb is if you're gonna lay up. So try to avoid all of the trouble, all of the hazards. So that bunker that's about 30, 40 yards short of the green, avoid it at all costs. So if you're gonna lay up, don't hit anything that's gonna reach that bunker. Leave it short of that. So maybe it's a hybrid, maybe it's a 5-iron, whatever club you can, and always try to find your comfortable yardage in. Is that your 100-yard shot? Is that your 150 shot? Is that your 80-yard shot? You really need to know your game and your strengths, and that's really gonna help you on these holes where you lay up or don't lay up. So I'm gonna play it the wrong way, and I'm gonna hit my driver to show you what not to do and how you can put yourself in a lot of trouble. Perfect, right in the bunker. So I hit it into this bunker. This is the bunker that I always seem to hit into. As you can see, there's a bunker here, there, and there. It's a well-guarded green. So again, this is a layup hole unless you can get it there. I clearly couldn't, and now I put myself in a really tough position where I have one of the most difficult shots in golf, which is about a 30, 40 yard bunker shot. Lip in front of me, uphill lie. It's not easy. And this is why when I say lay up, because you don't ever want to put yourself in a really difficult position. So for this shot, I'm gonna grab my 54-degree wedge and I'm gonna hit it pretty much almost like, the lip's not that high, so I'm not gonna have it as open, and almost hit it like a pitch shot instead of a bunker shot. The goal for this shot is to have low expectations and just get it out of the bunker. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. It went a little bit far, but I got it out on the green, and now I have a chance for my birdie. This is what I was talking about though, when you can compound your problems. So let's just say I didn't get it out of the bunker and it took a couple tries, or you put yourself in a really difficult position. That's where you start to get those mindless triple, double bogeys that you don't want. If you can get out with a bogey, then you're good, but just because it's reachable doesn't mean that you're always going to, like, it's an easy hole. You actually have to be the most strategic when you have short par 4s. Okay, well, I got my par, but as you could see, it wasn't the easiest way to make par. I probably would have had a better shot of making birdie from the fairway and less of a shot of making a bogey or high number. So again, if you're gonna lay up, only go for it if you can reach it, and look what's around the green and play smart. Next, we're gonna talk about a long par 3. This is a very intimidating golf hole for a lot of people to play, and I think sometimes they end up pressing and compounding their problems like they do on a reachable par 4. So I consider a long par 3 anything where you have to hit a long iron into your hybrids, or sometimes even a driver. I have hit drivers on par 3s before, which is not great. So this hole that we're playing is 200 yards, but it's really weird how the green is set up where you have trouble around it. So on the right side, it shoots down into the crap, and no matter what, if you're just a little bit right, it shoots all the way over. And on the left side, you have a bunker, and the way that the green is set up, it's really difficult to get it close. And so going into this par 3, I'm really strategic about where I'm placing my shot and also where I'm lining up on the tee box. The goal here is just to hit the green. So with my hybrid, I'm going to show you where to tee up, how I would play this hole for the best opportunity to hit the green. So it's really important when you're trying to find a target is to not look at the pin when you're setting up and going through your whole routine. So for example, there's a tree in the background. When I'm going through my pre-shot routine, I am never looking at the flag. That is no longer my target, and my gaze is never going over to the flag. It's always going to my target that I picked out, which is a tree. A lot of people get confused when they have maybe a target on the left side, but what they do last second is they look at the pin, so that connects your mind to the shot at hand, and that's the pin. So then you push and you're like, oh, why did I do that? Because the last thing you looked at wasn't your target line, it was actually the pin. So I think I just hit it on the left side of the green, totally okay with that, totally fine. It's safe, and that's all we're worried about right now. You can see a little bit better now that we're up at the green what I was talking about, where you have the crap on the right side, the pin is really close on the right, and so that's just danger, and you want to avoid that at all costs. And the left side's actually pretty open, so that's why I was talking about changing your target and not even looking at the right side of this green. So I'm safe. I hit a pretty good shot. It's the safe shot. I think one thing that's really important is if you played the course before, is going through the scorecard and seeing which holes are your absolute birdie holes, ones that are maybe birdie holes, and which ones are par holes. Every hole is obviously a birdie hole, but that is if you play it the right way and play it safely. There's some holes that you should just not go for, and I see people being aggressive and going for every single pin, and you end up putting yourself in worse positions if you do that. A good little putt there. Like I said, this hole is a hole that I played this course a lot. We're at Silverado. Probably remember this from the last course vlog that we did. But I know that this hole is not a birdie hole unless I hit a great shot. So I just really try to focus on missing at the biggest part, focusing on the biggest part of the green, and even acting like there's not even a pin on the green. Any shot on the green is a good shot on this hole. Always happy with a par leaving this hole. So don't try to freak out when you have a long par 3. Really focus in on your target. Look where the biggest part of the green is. Try to miss there. You can align on the tee box or not. Always go with what feels most comfortable to you. But again, try not to press or stress on long par 3s. So we're going to finish up on a par 5. I think most people enjoy par 5s the most, but you have to think your way through a par 5 the most out of par 4s, par 3s, and par 5s. It really comes down to what your drive is doing, your second shot, and then your third shot. So I can sometimes reach this hole in 2 depending on how good I hit my drive. So we're going to talk more on the second shot because that's where it really comes down to what you do next. One thing I really like to do is draw the hole backwards. So think of what the green is doing and how it's setting up, and that's how you're going to play your second and your first shot. So on this hole, it's a dog leg to the right, and so I want to be more on the left side. So placement is really important on this hole, especially with your driver, because if you hit it on the right side, then you're basically eliminating going for it in 2 unless you have an opening. So really want to focus in on, okay, where can I hit it to give myself the best opportunity for my next shot? And so the left side is definitely the play here. So I'm going to really try to, this goes back to where you need to tee it up, and I don't do this, but do as I say, not as I do. You really want to tee up on the right side here, because if you look, it opens up the fairway so much more compared to when you're on the left side. Your only option really from this angle is to hit a draw. So look where it really opens up the most, and that's where you want to tee it up on the tee box. So I hit a good drive on this hole, so I have 201 left into the green, and I'm definitely going to go for it. This is kind of the same rule of thumb when it comes to a reachable par 4 as it does with the second shot into a par 5. If you can reach it, go for it. If you can't, then lay it back, unless you feel really comfortable with your short game and around the green. So I feel very comfortable from about 80 yards and in. That's kind of my go zone. So majority of the time I actually tend to go for it unless there's a lot of trouble around it, or if there are bunkers, then normally I will lay up. But if you can reach it, definitely go for it. So it's the same as a drivable par 4. When I'm looking at my next shot, I kind of think of the same thing, like where do I want to miss it, or where's a good spot to miss it? Because it is a longer shot, you're less accurate. So there's a bunker on the left side. I just want to avoid that. It's pretty much just go time. I mean, there's not much trouble. Green's pretty large, so I can stand up here and hit it fairly confident. If you are going to lay up, again, go back to a yardage that feels very comfortable to you. Is that your 150 yard in, whatever yardage it is, always try to lay up to that yardage. And it's pretty easy to do that. I think you guys can do the math to find the yardage that it works best for you. Maybe just a little bit short, but I hit a good shot, and I have a good look at maybe chipping in for an eagle and definitely making my birdie. So I wasn't short. Well, I was short, but I'm on the green, so now I have a good look at eagle and hopefully make my birdie putt. When it comes to eagle putts, I tend to see people either they're really aggressive because they want to make it and they don't want to leave it short, and then they end up 3-putting. So focusing on your speed is really important. Yeah, making an eagle is great, but don't be so aggressive where you have a really tricky birdie putt coming back and then end up making a par. So be aggressive for sure, but again, focus on speed, because you're also going to have a better shot at making your eagle putt if the speed is correct. I see some people just blow it by and there's no shot for it to go in if your speed is, if you're hitting it that hard. So again, when it comes to these putts, try to not be so excited and just go through your normal routine that you would do for any of your putts. So I made my birdie, and that is how I normally play a reachable par 4, a long par 3, and a gettable par 5. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this course management style vlog today, this course vlog. And again, Happy New Year. Comment down below some of your 2021 New Year's resolutions or what you want to see from me this year. I'd love to hear from you guys. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed today's vlog. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next Thursday.